Hey, what's going on, guys? The Electrican's back here, and I am back with another video today, bringing you my second annual NFL playoff predictions video for the 2022-2023 NFL season. So yeah, we're going to get right into it here with the AFC wildcard round between Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. Give me the freaking Buffalo Bills in this game. They're the much better team. Dolphins have been struggling as of lately. Started 8-3 and only won one game just last Sunday, and they just haven't really looked that good. The Buffalo Bills, just all around better team. They have better players. Easy pick here. Give me the Bills. Next round here, we got the Bengals versus the Ravens. This could be a closer game than people think, but I'm still going to go with the Bengals here. Lamar might be coming back in this game. I think he will because it's the playoffs. You got to play, man. But yeah, overall, I think the Bengals, they're just a better roster. They did lose Alex Kappa and Lael Collins earlier in the season. But despite the injuries to Alex Kappa and Lael Collins on the offensive line, the Bengals have beaten the Ravens twice this year. I think the Bengals will handle business. They got the home game that they wanted, and they will move on to the divisional round. And then the next game here, this was the toughest pick for me, the Jaguars versus the Chargers. Now, even though the Chargers are the better all-around team, it is looking like the Chargers will have Joey Bosa and Mike Williams back in this game, but there's just something about this Jaguars team. Even though the Chargers are the better team on paper and record-wise, there's just the Jags have all this momentum going into the playoffs. They're going to be at home in Duval. Man, just something about that team. But this Jags team just really seems like they're bringing everything together, becoming a really good football team. So I'm actually going with the Jags in this game. That's probably an upset pick to a lot of people, but I'm going with the Jags in Duval County in this one to move on to the division. And over in the NFC, we have probably the easiest prediction here, 49ers versus Seahawks. Give me the 49ers. I know the Seahawks, they've kind of had a roller coaster year, sort of. Geno Smith has played out of his mind this season, but the 49ers are just red hot right now with their number one ranked defense. Brock Purdy's looking pretty good, so give me the 49ers in that one. The next game here, we got the Vikings versus the Giants. This one could go either way. The Vikings are very fraudulent, a negative 3-point differential with 13 wins. That screams fraud to me, but I'm still going to pick them to win this game because they are playing at home. They played pretty good at home this season, despite that one game against the Cowboys where they got absolutely blown out. But I'm going to take the Vikings. I just think they're a better overall team. Their defense sucks, but it's Daniel Jones and the Giants. There's not really too much to be afraid of there. Give me the Vikings in this one. And then the last game, the Buccaneers versus the Cowboys. A lot of people are choosing the Bucs in this one, I feel, because it's Tom Brady and whatnot. But no, give me the Cowboys in this one because the Buccaneers are just not that good of a football team. I mean, come on, 8-9 in that garbage of a division. They barely beat the Cardinals on Christmas Day. They just lost to the Falcons yesterday. I don't know if they were benching their starters or not, but because they did lock up the division. But either way, they've been dropping a lot of winnable games that I feel are winnable for them with the amount of talent they've had on their team. There's just no excuse for that team to be 8-9, and they're just not that good. So give me the Cowboys. Moving on to the divisional round here, we got the Chiefs versus the Jaguars. The Jaguars are just not ready to compete against a team like the Chiefs. Like, this is Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. They've been in the playoffs. They've been the one seed almost every year. This is going to be in Arrowhead. Yeah, I just don't think the Jags stand a chance. Maybe put up somewhat of a fight. I don't think it'll be a cakewalk for the Chiefs by any means, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Give me the Chiefs in this one. And then we have the Bills versus the Bengals. This is going to be one of the best games of the year, probably. Been looking forward to this one. Look forward to it a lot in the Monday night game a few weeks ago, but unfortunately Damar Hamlin had that cardiac arrest. It was a very scary injury. I'm just really glad that he's doing good now. But we'll finally get to see this game. It will be in Orchard Park this time. And I think Cincinnati's offensive line is going to be a concern in this game with how good the Bills' pass rush has been, even without Von Miller. So I'm going to take the Bills in this one to be a close game. But I think the Bills will pull it out in the end and move on to the AFC Championship game. Next up, we got the Eagles versus the Cowboys. Be a pretty good game, but I think the Eagles are going to handle business here. The Cowboys did beat them a few weeks ago, but that was when Gardner Minshew was playing. We'll get to see Jalen Hurts probably playing in this one versus Dak Prescott, who's been struggling lately. Should be a good game either way, but Eagles are just all around a better football team, so I'm going to take the Eagles in this one. Next up, we got the 49ers versus the Vikings. Give me the 49ers. Their defense is just lights out. They're just going to go in there and absolutely destroy the Vikings. Come on, negative 3-point differential, 13 wins. You guys are freaking frauds. Go 49ers in this game. They're moving on to the NFC Championship game. Next up here, AFC Championship game, Chiefs versus the Bills. Rematch from last year's divisional game. Was probably one of the greatest games I've ever seen in my entire life of watching football. I'll be really looking forward to this one again this year if it happens. This will be played at a neutral site, I believe, not in Arrowhead. But me personally, I just don't see the Bills losing to the Chiefs in the playoffs again. It ain't gonna happen again. I'm gonna take the Bills to advance to the Super Bowl this year. They really have looked like a damn good football team as of lately. Josh Allen's elbow injury, that was pretty concerning earlier in the season, but he's been looking pretty good. He's turned the ball over a little bit too much, but he'll clean that up here in the playoffs. I'm gonna take the Bills to beat the Chiefs and advance to the Super Bowl. Next up here, we got the Eagles in the Niners NFC Championship game. This is going to be a really good game. It could easily go either way. To me, honestly, it just came down to home field advantage. I'm going to take the Eagles to just barely squeak this one out. And also the fact that Brock Purdy is probably going to be playing in this game. He has been really good. I'll give him that. But NFC Championship game on the road in Philadelphia against that stacked of a team. They almost broke the single season sack record. But yeah, I think the Eagles just barely have the slight advantage in this game. It could go either way, but I'm going to take the Eagles to go to the Super Bowl. That leaves us in the Super Bowl. Bills versus the Eagles. Who is going to win this game? Well, I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills to win their first ever Super Bowl this year. I've been pulling for them all season long since the preseason, and I'm sticking with it, man. This team is really good, although they've had injuries. Micah Hyde, Von Miller, of course, DeMar Hamlin. Sure, they've had other injuries. Josh Allen's elbow injury, of course. But this team has been really good despite those injuries. They should have been the number one seed. They're a really good defensive team, really good offensive team. Same as the Eagles. Really good pass rush they have. Jalen Hurts has been playing out of his mind. They got really good weapons on their team. But I just like the Bills more, man. They're going to be coming into this game with that freaking win or die energy. And I think they're going to go out there and pull it off. Win their first ever Super Bowl. Let's go, Buffalo Bills. I'm rooting them in the playoffs this year. And yeah, there we go. So those are my playoff predictions for the 2022-2023 playoffs. I hope you enjoyed. And leave a like and subscribe and check out our other videos. I don't really do these kind of videos. I just do this once a year for the playoffs because I really like to do it. I think it's enjoyable. Man, we'd love to hear you guys' feedback. Leave a comment down below what you think, and we'll see you guys in the next video.